Well, that just came the fuck out of nowhere, didn't it? Oh, man. So, out of nowhere yesterday, during the Super Bowl, amidst all the trailers, we got a trailer for the next Cloverfield movie, the Cloverfield Paradox. What they didn't tell us until the last second was, after the game, they were going to premiere it that night. You gotta hand it to the Cloverfield marketing group. They know how to, you gotta hand it to Paramount. They know how to market a Cloverfield movie these days. Anyway, so before I go any further, because this movie's still new, it came out last night. I'm gonna give you, because I do feel like I have to spoil some things about this movie in order to fully talk about it. So if you have not seen the movie yet, hop on Netflix, check it out for yourself, and come back and just listen to the review. But for those who have seen the movie or just don't give a fuck about being spoiled, just stick around. But I'm going to give everyone a few seconds to back out now. Okay, so if I'm guessing if you're still here, you're either want to be spoiled or you've already seen the movie. What did I think of it? Well, for a Cloverfield prequel, the premise about the whole thing of this story is that in the future, Earth is running out of resources, and the only way that they can find any new resources is using a machine that can break into another universe to harvest energy for the whole world, or else the whole world's going to be fighting each other. But as you can imagine, something goes wrong, and shit goes insane. So, yeah. Now, what I like is that how it plays with alternate universes and how it kind of breaks in. The ship is called the Cloverfield, and I gotta be honest, I feel like, much like with 10 Cloverfield Lane, I have this weird feeling that this wasn't meant to be a Cloverfield movie, but then they went, fuck it, let's just make it a Cloverfield movie. Because, yeah, that's how 10 Cloverfield Lane was supposed to be. That was supposed to be its own thing, but Abrams said, nah, fuck it, let's make it a Cloverfield movie. That's kind of how it went. Anyway, so that's how I feel like the Cloverfield Paradox goes, because, yeah, there are just some minor scenes here and there which I feel like were put in post that had this all tie together with Cloverfield. But, yeah, if you're going to be a prequel to the two movies now that are interconnected, you might want to have some better chances of explaining stuff. And I know that the whole Cloverfield is that, oh, it's a mystery and you have to put it together. I'm like, yeah, but it's a prequel. It's supposed to tell us. And I know the aura of mystery, but yeah, at least give us a little more explanation. But at least they give us an explanation of how this all plays out in, and how Cloverfield started and subsequently 10 Cloverfield Lane started. What happens is that when the machine goes on and, knocks around the universes, it opens a portal through not just, the future, but also through every timeline in every universe. So the multiverse gets fucked in the ass, more or less. The multiverse just gets fucked in the ass, and the monster we see in Cloverfield, yeah, that happens because of what happens in the future. And subsequently the monsters, I guess, are the monsters we see in 10 Cloverfield Lane are unleashed in a different timeline because of what happens in this universe and this timeline. Yeah, okay, I can go with that. I've been seeing a lot of multiverse stuff as of late. Maybe it's just me, but I've been seeing, maybe it's because I just read the Before Watchmen Dr. Manhattan comic right before I saw this. I finished reading that. I don't know, yeah, I've just been seeing a lot of probabilities and different timelines and different universes caused by probabilities happen simultaneously. I don't know. But anyway, let's talk about the cast. The cast is okay. The movie on a whole is just okay because, yeah, it just feels like Event Horizon if Event Horizon took itself too seriously. And saying that for a movie like Event Horizon is saying something. Because, yeah. Yeah, I can't be the only one, like I said, who thought Event Horizon or an episode of Star Trek Next Generation when watching this. Because, yeah, But this movie is just kind of boring at parts, where the cast is serviceable, and the major standouts are the main actress, who I cannot remember her name. She's fine, she's serviceable, but the two big ones are, of course, David Alawayo. I'm not going to be able to pronounce that man's name, but David Alawayo, I cannot pronounce that man's name. And Daniel Blur, who most of you guys know best as Zemo in Captain America: Civil War. But I'm really glad that he's been breaking out roles here, because I know he was very big in Germany, and I think his first one in America was in Glorious Bastards, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they're the two major ones in this film. The other actors are fine. They're just kind of like, they don't really have any character and just are cannon fodder. Especially the one actor who, the Irish astronaut, which I cannot... That's how boring a lot of these characters are, is that I just remember them as this astronaut or that astronaut. Especially the one astronaut who's like the mechanic. I'll call him the mechanic because that's what he more or less does. He just has some weird moments in here where there's just some very forced comedy from him. Like when one guy dies, because when they moved universes, the worms they brought with him like go into his body, and for some reason make him talk poltergeist style to either the worms or his reflection, and he 3D prints a gun that shoots darts. I don't know what the fuck that's about. And also, I'll get to another moment, but yeah, when that guy dies via worm explosion, yeah, he just says, well, at least we know where the worms are now, and I'm like, fucking hell, man. And also, when his arm gets ripped off and eaten, and then comes back like as a thing from Addams Family, and can still write on its own and live after he's killed, yeah, it's really weird. Even when they have this new matrix that can allow them to, that comes from a guy's stomach, they find, it's never explained. That's another big thing. And again, I know that, it's Cloverfield, it's supposed to be left up for mystery and whatnot to be explained another point. But again, this is a prequel. You're supposed to fucking explain stuff! If you're going to market it as a prequel, that's fine. Also, I will say that I know a lot of people have been giving shit to, all the times we cut back to the main character's husband and him rescuing a girl. I kind of like those because you really get this kind of boots on the ground, well, not boots on the ground, that'd be more military, but like citizen view of what's going on in the early moments of the monster invasion. And you really see it, you really see his kind of like panicking status towards the end. And again, you do see the Cloverfield monster at the end, which I was like, oh shit. Okay, that was cool, but it wasn't worth the payoff. And there is some cool moments in here of like, when they find a astronaut actually fused into their systems, who they managed to rescue, is from an alternate universe, and she actually betrays them. And, like, the moment you look at her, I'm like, yeah, you're gonna turn evil. You're gonna go evil. But, like, it's justified because she's trying to save her Earth, and she's like, yeah, I don't want to do this, but I'm trying to save my Earth. And you can't help but go, well, I'm a little shitty, but I got my Earth to save, so, fuck you. But, yeah, there's just so much unexplained in here. There's some scenes that just drag on, and a lot of forced humor in here that just did not roll for me. It just did not, in any way, shape, or form, just work. There are some cool moments here and there, and, again, posturing the whole thing of, is it right for... but no one really goes into it. That's the problem, is that when the person they find who ends up in their universe shows up, no one postures the whole question of, hey, if we do this, we're leaving another Earth to die. We're basically killing a totally different Earth if we do this. So, are we right? No one asked that question. It's more like, we gotta get back home. Fuck those guys. Yeah. Which I wish they would have gone a bit further into. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Like, again, there's just so much... I mean, even in 10 Cloverfield Lane, you could argue, oh, well, nothing happens in 10 Cloverfield Lane. Yeah, but there's so much suspense in there, and the cast is really, gripping, and clearly had a good direction for it, and it's almost like it feels like a science fiction version of a Alfred Hitchcock movie at points. And of the now 3 movies, soon to be 4, 10 Cloverfield's my favorite of them. But yeah, what was I going to say? Like I said, this movie just kind of lags at points. And it feels like some of the actors don't know what to do. The humor's really forced in. Again, they posture a lot of questions for, oh, is it right? You know, they don't really pose the question of, you know, we're in an alternate reality. You know, what the hell do we do? Do we go and help them, or do we help ourselves? Nope, fuck them. Yeah, that's kind of the whole point right there. Is just, hey, if you see other people in danger, fuck them. All right, that's the message I'm getting. Anyway, so I was just kind of left going, it was alright. But if you enjoyed this movie, that's totally fine. I got, you know, no ill will against you. I personally just kind of left going, well, that just felt like nothing right there. But anyway, so yeah, not the strongest of the now Cloverfield trilogy. Hopefully the next one, which is apparently finished filming, and set in World War II, will be a little better. But for right now, just with this one. But anyway, you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of of the Cloverfield paradox? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Comment below, let me know. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'm out.